moment. I wanted to say what is the name of the brother that talked before you?
Temidayo.
Okay. Is the Popola? I wanted to say most of the things he said I didn't hear. So that's what I wanted to say.
Do you want it to repeat?
Yes.
Okay, Bravo Pola, over to you.
You said?
He said he did not hear what you said. He said he did not hear all what you said. You wanted to repeat it in a shortest time because we have 20 minutes or 18 minutes. Quickly summarize what your point.
What I'm saying is that if you want to go by the way something sounds, because when we are talking about Hebrew text, we are talking about a text that was originally written in consonant. If we are even talking about Arabic, came much later, and Arabic is not a pure language. It was a combination of Syriac language, Aramaic, and also some part in Greek. So, but what I'm trying to say is that if you are looking at a text and you want to use the morphology to judge, because they wrote it this way, I can also show you that there are other ways they can write that in morphology. So the word you are looking at, which is H, can mean the way they pronounce it can mean cats, chets, or heads. But the original word is et. So they have different way that they can write. So if I put cat there, how do you want to that H that you are paying attention that make it be as Mohammedim? If I put KHET there, how do you think it's going to sound? So that's what I'm saying, that phonic fallacy, the way it sounds, does not mean at all. For instance, the word akbar means rat or mouse. Meanwhile, in Hebrew, it means great. So I always say because they sound the same thing, then automatically we are saying, if whenever we say Allah Akbar, then we are saying Allah is mouse.
Hello?
Are you done? Him again. You can't even hear him again.
Yes, he's not. We can't hear his voice again.
And I want to
make your point so that I like how what you said. You want to respond to him because it's getting late already.
Let me respond to what. Let me respond to what you said. If you come back on,
okay. Do that.
So if I can have clear memory about what you said Muhammad is an Arabic name. How come it finds itself into Hebrew Bible? I think you said something like that.
Yes.
Very first start to that is this. I have told you before. A name is always a name. You cannot interpret it, though it can be corrupted. If I am writing English book and I want to mention my name, Oladipo, I will not translate it. I will put it as it is. And if I bring it out and everybody writes it, and they ask me in what language is this book written, it is going to be said in English language. Now, if they ask me that, if it is English language, how come Oladipo, is it English language? Language, the name of a person, you cannot translate it. It has to be what it is. So the answer that how come a Hebrew name, Arabic name enters into Hebrew name, there's nothing like this. I think it doesn't have basis. That is number one. You said something about sorry. Can you you said something about Paran. I should show you where it is written in the Hadith, in this and this, and you said a lot of things. You need to understand something, that fundamentally religious book has to do with the instruction from God. It does not mean that what is historical relevant does not really mean it does not exist. That the Bible or the Quran or anything does not mention that Chinese people were in existence during Noah flood. Doesn't mean that the Chinese were not having civilization, or the Indians. That the Bible says the whole world was destroyed by the flood does not mean that the Chinese were not in existence. So if you say, because the Bible did not mention that the Chinese were existing, it means that I don't believe the Chinese were existing. History. Now, if you look at the Bible, very generally speaking, everybody agreed that Ishmael, that the Arabs find their lineage from Ishmael. And a lot of commentators have been able.
Please allow me to speak. Please, bro, speak. Just finish your point.
Yeah. And the Arabs have their roots from that. And historically too, the Hadith told us Agar and Ishmael were settled in a desert. And we found a corresponding narration in the Bible stating the same thing and mentioning that the name of where they were settled is called Haran. And we are even told that a water gushed forth from that place. Yes, the Hadith never mentioned the name. The Quran is not about story, but a remembrance of an incident. So, if you are telling me because Haran is not stated in the Hadith or anything, it means that historically it is wrong. That is another thing entirely. I cannot prove beyond the fact that the original settled place for Ishmael and Agar was in Haran, according to the Bible, and the root of it, which is what is called Mecca today. Name change, Haran to Baka to Makkah. It changes. That's another thing I want to say. Then you mentioned the third point. Can you please remind me? Third point.
I didn't even remember. I have these 4 questions before Mr. Bola talks. Please, I want you to answer it specifically. These 4 questions, please. I beg you before you leave. You said 10. I don't want us to exceed the 10. This is the 4 question. Please, I beg you. You said, I asked you, Muhammad, how come Arabic word found its way into the Hebrew word? You said you say maybe it's a prophecy or so. Your name cannot be translated. Name cannot be translated. You said that. Now I want you. This is the first question. Are you telling me? This is the first question. I want you to show me from the Quran the prophecy that said Muhammadim will be found in the Hebrew Bible. I need a prophecy that said that, because the one I know is Ahmad. How suddenly the Ahmad now become Muhammadim? That is the first question. I want you to answer that question. 2, you said name cannot be translated. How suddenly the name of Jesus become Isa, from Yehoshua to Isa? You said name cannot be translated. Thank you. How suddenly Ibrahim, Abraham become Ibrahim, and Gabriel become Jubrila, and so many, Mary become Miriam. Particularly about Isa, how suddenly they became Yehoshua become Isa? That is the second question. Please, you are noting it. The third question, you have not answered it. I want you to be short answer for me, sir. Because we are Muslim, we are Christian. You are Muslim, I am a Christian. The other brother is a Christian. We cannot be talking from Wikipedia or from. This is a spiritual book we trusted. We trusted our book, not Wikipedia. Wikipedia can be edited, can be corrupted, can be done to. Give me an Islamic source, because you are telling me Para become Baka, from Baka now to Mecca. Which Islamic source said that? You made another point that Ishmael is the father of Arab. I disagree, sir. According to your source, Hadith said if Ishmael learned Arabic from the Arab people, so how can Arab man learn his own language from Arab people? So these are the questions I want to give answers to. Short answers to it before we leave. Maybe Popola want to add another thing before.
No, before
my question.
Before you add to it, I am going to answer this question, and I want to make comment on what he said the other time. But first of all, I will answer this question. You talked about Muhammad. I have told you cannot change your name. You now said, how come Isa becomes Yeshua? I have told you again.
No, you talk about Ahmed. Ahmad to Mohammed or
Muhammad,
Mahmoud. Sorry.
Muhammadin.
Whose question am
Ahmad
I answering? And who is
is my
interjecting?
question.
And so
Is
why
my
is he
question.
interjecting? Who am I talking to?
Okay.
If
Go
I
ahead
finish
and
your
answer the question.
not satisfied, if I have not answered it well, it is you that will tell me. And then again,
Okay.
he can also tell me. But let him finish
Okay.
first.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
So Muhammad is called Hamad. He's also called Ahmad. There are references to it in the Quran. He is called Muhammad in the Quran. He is called Ahmad in the Quran. What we found in the book we are reading, I have not even referenced it. But if you are asking me where is it written, I don't need to tell you where is it written. If you go to the Quran or the Hadith, you are not going to see where it is mentioned that the name of Muhammad's mother is Amina. It is not in any Hadith, and it is not in the Quran. Where are you going to find it? It is in the book of history, Sirah. You are not going to see Muhammad was born on so day. You cannot see it. So that's why I'm telling you, there you have a scriptural book, Hadith, and the Quran, fine. But historical book, they are history books. You cannot see Mecca is Peran here, it is this or this. This is when it becomes this, this is when it is not a story book. So get that one again. You talked about how come Yehoshua become Isa. It is a name for Jesus, and it is not a translation nor a corruption. Jesus, you cannot tell me that the Hebrew people don't
Yehoshua, not Jesus. I said Yehoshua.
That's what I'm saying, that it is not a corruption of Yehoshua, neither is it a corruption of Jesus. And there was a discourse. I gave you an example. Like in Islam, when you talk about Yahya, the Muslim will say Yahya is identified as John the Baptist. But does Yahya means John in Arabic? No, because the name for John in Arabic is Yohana, and it is the same with in Hebrew too. But that does not mean that John, the one they call John the Baptist, does not have the name called Yahya. And historically, we have been able to find out from the Mendanites, who are the followers of John the Baptist. Their sect still remains today in the Middle East. They call them the Mendahanis. They call his name Yahya Yohana. These are the two combinations of names. So that Quran says Jesus is Isa doesn't mean that it is a translation of Yehoshua or anything. And when you are talking, how come Abraham become Ibrahim, or how come Miriam become Mary? No, it is not even Miriam that becomes Mary. It is Mary that becomes. It is Miriam that becomes Mary, because the proper name is not even Mary. It is Miriam. So like that. But you are going to see that this is a corruption of name. For example, Abraham, Ibrahim. You can say it. Yehoshua, Joshua. It is a corruption name, but you can't translate it. So the answer is that the name of a person found or called in any language will still retain that name. So if you are saying how come Arabic enter Hebrew, it is a name of that person. That's the second one. I have talked about the parent. You are asking me, I should show you Hadith and all these things. And I've told you that it is not everything you see in the Hadith or whatever. But it does not preclude what you call historical book. Then you talked about Arabic people. If Ishmael is not the father of the Arabic people, or that they taught Ishmael Arabic, how do we get the name Arab or Arabic? Because generally they live in Arabian Peninsula. Anybody that comes from Arabian Peninsula becomes an Arab. So in Arabian Peninsula, some people got the glory. It's just like a Yoruba now. If you say Yoruba people, we are sons of Oduduwa, it doesn't mean that we proceeded from Oduduwa. Yoruba have been existing before Oduduwa, but Yoruba will still tell you he is the father of Oduduwa. So he took that credit. So whether somebody taught him that name or he taught somebody that name, I can't tell you the mystery. I'm not an expert on that. And lastly, I want to comment on what Brother Popola said the earlier time. You
I'm
need
not satisfied. I have some comments.
Before you comment, you said something. I need to comment on it.
Go ahead.
You made something about consonant. Yes, it is true that Hebrew word, Arabic word originally were written in consonant. But what people don't understand, that is why sometimes when they talk about the text of the Quran or Quran revealed in Aruf or in Kirot and all those things, I just laugh because they don't really understand the input. There are some things that we will read on the internet or books, but if you don't go to the experts to explain it to you, you just realize that you are just fooling yourself. So what I'm saying in essence is this: when I agree with you that something can be written with 4 words, but when you are reading, the pronunciation is going to be different from, you will see 2 things written in the same consonant, but the way they will pronounce one will be different from the way you pronounce second one. So how do you determine the consonant you put in all those things? The vowel you put on it, it depends on the pronunciation of it. You now made a challenge. You said, show me a single Jewish man who read that something as Yehoshua. If I have your number, I will send many to you. But what brought about this topic was a video clip that I sent to Brother Folari, where a Jewish man was reciting it, not a Muslim. A Jewish man was reciting it and was confirming it. It was then that Brother Folari now said, do I believe it? This is what brought about it. So that challenge, there are so many of them. That is what I want to say. So many of them.
Please.
You can make your comment.
Mr. Fola, make your comment,
Yes,
then I will make my own comment.
okay. Please, I am the question I asked, you have not answered in with due respect. Before, I'm not asking, you said you are citing an example that one mother of Muhammad is not found in you cannot find in the Quran. I'm not asking, is this thing you are talking that Muhammad is found in the Bible? It's a prophecy now from the Islamic, is from the Quran, and is found in Surah 61:6 and Surah 7:157. And what is there? He said
no. What we are reading in Solomon has nothing to do with that, because what the Quran was talking about is in Torah and Injil. Where we are reading is not Torah and it is not Injil.
Okay, what you are reading is what?
It is Nabim. The Jewish call it Nabim, the prophets. The Torah is from Genesis to Deuteronomy. And
let me quickly ask the question. You will explain, you will respond to it, no problem. Okay. So you are telling me now that Surah 61:6 and Surah 7:157 is not talking about Song of Solomon.
No,
it's talking about Torah and Injil. Where are those Torah and Injil today? If it's not, if are they lost? Are they forgotten? Are they into oblivion? That is what I want you to show me. That is why I said, what prompted you to now bring Muhammad's name from the Song of Solomon? How do you now come to that conclusion? That is the first question. You have not answered the question. I ask you, how did Isa? You said a name cannot be translated. Fine, I agree with you. How suddenly Yehoshua become Isa? It's different word, even if it is a letter. That is different. You cannot say it sounds similar. At least you can listen to it now. Ibrahim, Abraham. How suddenly the name? Can we call it corruption? How can Yehoshua? That is the original name of Jesus, of Christ. Yehoshua is the name. How suddenly he became Isa? Is that corruption of the Quran? Do you agree with that? And I ask you again, the last question you have not answered perfectly to my own satisfaction. I will not make any comment about it again. You said Ishmael is the father of Arabian, and in your hadith, you have not given any hadith to support this. You have not given. You only said Wikipedia, and I'm not taking Wikipedia from you, so I'm sorry. Give me any Sirah, give me any hadith authentic, give me any Quranic verses that said Ishmael is the father of the Arab people, because in the hadith, I can give you the source if you ask for it. Ishmael learned Arabic, even married from the Egyptian people. He learned Arabic from the Arab people. how suddenly Ismail become their father if he actually learned Arabic from them? And lastly, how did Paran become Mecca? No source. I cannot take that from you, please. I cannot make a claim and say this is historically, where is the history? Where is the evidence? I need, if you cannot provide it, I'm not asking you to provide it now. I need it, even if you cannot do it now, send it to me. Let me read. Those are the comments so that I won't waste your time. Thank you.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
My also final comment. You don't need to agree with my explanation, and it may not convince you, but I have said it. But to clarify something, when I was talking about Wikipedia, I only talked about Muhammad entering. I said for his circular knowledge, Muhammad entering Mecca with 10,000 people. That you can see it in Wikipedia. However, go into any biography of the prophet, any Sirah, either the life of Muhammad or Muhammad Rasulullah, any historical book of Muhammad, and read about the conquest. How many people did he enter Mecca with? That is the only reason. I didn't say it is Wikipedia that say it is Quran or anything. Please don't misquote me. Every other thing I don't need to repeat, but I will respect your opinion if you say you are not going to agree with it. Then you now talked about the Quran. Where is the Quran? Where is the Torah? Where is the this? Where is the? I think that is another topic entirely. You can list it among those types of discussion that you say we are going to have. So it is another thing entirely, and I don't think I need to waste time on that. So please, maybe that is the final thing I want to say. Brother Pokuola, don't want, but
Okay.
it's like
I'm going to be brief. Mr. Adebayo. Now, if you look at the screen, I hope you can see my screen. Hello, sir.
Wait, hold on. Okay, it's not showing. No.
Yes, we can. Yes, it's showing now.
I can see.
Okay, sir. Sir, every word in Hebrew has two root words. And this is one of the examples. Mark, much. And you can see it on the screen. That is the strong 4261. So if somebody is now do homology and trying to split it because here we have vowel. A is a vowel sound here in this strong reference. So if someone is trying to break things down, they want to make sure that they form what they want to form out of it. But you said it was used one. Uncle Folani has proved that it was not used once. It was used more than like 12 times. So if because the vowel, sir, hello.
Go ahead.
Yes. As you can see it on the screen, you can see the difference on the screen. Because of time, I wish that one day we will come back to this thing. That's number one. Number two, you were talking about Paran. In the Bible, in the same Bible you are talking about, he gave the coordinates of those Paran. And I wish that one day we will also visit it again. And I will show you the coordinates. And when you're talking about Arabia or Arab does not mean the province of where Mecca and what we call Saudi Arabia today. Anywhere we call is a desert land is called Arabia or Arab.
Yes.
For instance, in Hebrew we call it Araba. They will call it Araba. We also have desert land in Sinai. Sinai is not Mecca. It's not even near. It's around Jordan area. All these things we can visit them later on. Sir, I don't mind if you can let us have this debate between you and me about this Paran coming from Kinikon, so that you quoted the other time. I don't mind. I would like to share my screen. I will have to show you a Google map. We locate it everywhere. And how Paran become Mecca, I don't see anything of such in history. What you used to see is Becca. Becca means Mecca. And according to the location also, coordinates, also in inside Jordan area, we have where we call Becca. not, and Becca does not mean Mecca. It was later on that it was beginning to manipulate it. So, sir, as time goes on, I will have a debate on this again to solve this problem. So can you? I will let Mr. Fulan know so that we can set a day for that.
I appreciate your contribution, but please, though I said I don't want to make comment, just 1 minute. I want to say something. The issue of Muhammadan you quoted, or the root word of this thing, if you listen to me very well, I agree with you.
Thank you, sir.
When they are bringing it out, they are going to bring out the consonants. But you will realize that this thing has the same root word, consonant. But when you are pronouncing it, it is the pronunciation that will tell you the type of vowel that you will put into it. We have Yoruba name like that. We have every name like that. It is in pronunciation.
Sir, can you give me an instance? Can you give me an instance, sir?
Instance in what?
You said we have Yoruba name like that. Can you give me an instance?
I have so many. Okay, let me give you something. If you talk about Ojo, O-J-O, it is just 3 words, Ojo. But the way you pronounce it, when you pronounce it, Ojo, 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 will determine.
It's still the same vowel sound, sir. It's still the same vowel sound. It is the same vowel sound, but what
is the mark, intonational mark.
Intonational mark is different. So that's what I'm saying, sir. That's what I'm saying, that if you want to pronounce something, you will end up in phonic fallacy. That's what I'm saying. If you say this thing sound, I gave you an instance. Akbar means rat in Hebrew language. Akbar means rat in Hebrew language, or mouth. And in Arabic, it means great. Can we say Allah is mouse? You can't say that. You won't agree with me like that.
I don't know why it is difficult for you to understand what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is I'm even agreeing with you. I'm not sure. I don't know why it is difficult. I said if you write, for example, Ojo, O-J-O.
But that doesn't now mean that it now become Muhammad. It's not a prophecy, and it's never like that. If we put it in context, in fact, what you are saying is that Muhammad is a gay. I have to read it for you that way. That's it. That means Solomon is praising Muhammad, and that means both of them are gay. Sir, let's deal with
God forbid.
God forbid bad thing.
God forbid.
I don't want to insult your prophet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not insulting your prophet. But what I'm saying is that it will mean that like that, because if you read it in context, if I'm praising my wife and somebody say, okay, I'm praising my senior brother, I've become a gay. So, well, God bless you, sir. I really appreciate this time we share together to have dialogue. God bless you, sir. Mr. Adebayo. Mr. Adebayo.
Are you there?
He's there. I can.
Yeah, I think he's gone. Now, let's end it. He's gone.
Okay, he's gone.
He has
he's gone.
left. Yes.
So
maybe I will discuss with him. Yeah, no problem. I will discuss with him on how you two can discuss about para, how suddenly para become Mecca.
Yes,
and how Ismail became the father of Ari.
And doesn't have anything to do.
I would like to share your screen, please.
Sir, let me give you an instance, sir. Your father is a Nigerian. Your mother is a Chinese. How suddenly you become a Ghanaian?
I don't know. That is miracle.
That's very ridiculous.
We call it Dama miracle.
I think I see Pastor Femi Ogutono.
Femi, are you on? Are you still with us? Pastor Femi, please unmute your microphone. Let me unmute him. Let me try to unmute Pastor Femi. Let me try to unmute him. Maybe he has 1 or 2 things to say.
We have.
Yeah, Pastor Femi, you're welcome, sir. I hope you enjoyed the discussion.
Yes, sir. It is fantastic. Interesting.
This is how we do. This is how we do. We respect each other. We don't abuse, and for the sake of the truth.
That's very good. I even like Adebayo. He's a very humble and is man
Gentleman.
of integrity. The gentleman is a man of. That's what I know. Is man of integrity. You know, by the fruits, by their presentation, you will know the type of whom they are. So very soon he will surely come back to Jesus.
He's not sounding like Adepoju and
Adegunwa.
Adegunwa.
Mr. Have you listened to my conversation with Adegunwa?
Yes, Adegunwa. Listen, I even called him. He even mentioned your name that you called him.
Mr. Fola,
Yes, sir.
sorry, Pastor Femi. I would like us to end this chat and we start a fresh one because this one is recorded.
Okay, let me end it.
Okay. Yes. End it.